Yo, what's up? This is Joel from the Antidotes. This is the first installment of a little video series we're going to be doing online for our next album titled Beat the Classics. So let's get into it. My name is Markfader. I'm the MC on this album. I'm the producer of the group.
Konscious K, MC, part of the Antidotes crew. You know, I rhyme. That's what I do.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jonathan, also known as Phenomenon. I'm a MC of the group, and yeah.
You know, I go by Cee Nario. I'm representing, 626, representing the Antidotes family right here. Born and raised La Puente, I guess you call me your, local neighborhood singer or something like that. Try to rap a little bit inside of that. Just try to add a groove to the song a little bit. Try to do my thing,
This whole album came about when Goon Trax hit us up. They wanted to do a concept project with with a producer. They wanted to sample some classical joints, some old school classical stuff. Like when I'm talking about old school, I'm talking about like real old school, like classical, like Beethoven, Mozart, all that stuff. And I thought it was pretty interesting, like concept, and I showed it to the guys, and like the label really wanted us to do it. They handpicked us, they handpicked the producer, and that's how we did it. We just started doing like songs over the beats that he made from them.
When I first heard of the concept of the album, I was intrigued. I wanted to see what we can do with it.
It was a little bit of a departure, from like the norm as far as the type of stuff that we do.
You hear like ideas like that before, I guess, like, the fusion of genres and stuff. And like when it was like hip hop with classical music, I was like, alright, just gotta hear it. It was dope though, like just hearing everything as a whole. It was cool.
I wanted to be respectful of the original artists and the original music. I didn't want to put out something that was gonna ruin these songs or ruin these classics. I wanted to do something that would enhance them.
At first, like the beats were kind of like something that like we don't really like do. Like they weren't the real typical like beats that we really like do stuff on. Like at first, like I was like, dang, I don't know if like we do this, it'll be like forcing it, But after I started listening to the beats a little bit more, I was like, man, this shit's like really dope, Classic flow. I really like that song. The pianos on it was like really stood out for me, and the rhythm on it, just everyone's just the way they went on it, they attacked it. It was like pretty classic.
Like it set the tone for the album. It kind of got everything going. Put our our energy into it and kind of got everything started.
That was the first song that we actually did. We had all the beats, and we were like, we gotta get this album started. We actually had a deadline for this, and like, we didn't want to like rush it, but that was the first song that we actually did. And I remember we were all in the studio, and we had the beat playing because I thought that was like the most like hip hop like beat out of all of them. And I was like, if one's gonna get us started and get us rolling, it's gonna be this one. And I wrote the verse, like I wrote the first verse for it. And I think after I wrote it, I remember looking at John's eyes, and I remember looking at Christian's eyes, and they're like, oh shit, this shit could be dope, And like they did their verse, and that shit was tight too. And yeah, I mean that song, I think it's like real dope.
That was the one that got the ball rolling. It kind of started the fire in us, and we started seeing where this album could go and the potential that it has, and this opportunity that we have to turn these instrumentals into something else, into something great.
A good energy and a good vibe and a good flow, and the song turned out pretty good. Liked it a lot.
From Far, that song, I helped write the chorus. I felt that one a lot.
Yeah, my verse is really, I guess you can kind of say it's personal,
Kind of got that inspiration from past relationships. It's kind of corny, but I thought about ex-girlfriends and different situations, and like my heart being broken, and but at the same time still staying strong.
I remember just hearing this shit and I was like, alright. I remember we were knocking out like 3 tracks I think that night or something like that, and I was just trying to like go through them, and he already had ideas for like a lot of these, so I was like, alright, let's fuck with it. Just try to make a melody that went with the beat, with the song, and try to make that shit match. And like, I ended up like seeing the full final product when it was all like produced and everything by yours truly, not me, but Markfader. We put that shit together. It shit sounded came out sounding nice. It was cool.
Me personally, I wrote this as like I don't want to say personal experience because it's not really a personal experience, but it's like it's something that I've seen before. So there's 2 people in a relationship, and sometimes the best thing for the relationship is to not be in it. You know, you have love for another person, and you respect them so much that you kind of want to take a step back because you feel like you're bringing them down. And you know, that's what my verse is about.
Growth. All right, yeah, that's a dope song. Actually, we just released that one online, like kind of like to like preview to like hype up about the album. And yeah, Growth is a dope song. It just like talks about, I mean, it's plain and simple. It just talks about like the growth of like an artist like yourself. Like everybody wrote like really their perspective, how they want to like take like that, like the subject and everything. But I personally like wrote about my growth as an artist and as an individual in the music like business. You know, like feeling like I feel like I'm growing, like I'm doing all this work, and like I hope everybody sees how like I've been growing too, like as an artist, and yeah, and working my way up. You know what I'm saying?
I like that song a lot. I see the progression on that. Everyone's just growing, but the thing is, we're still in it, and keep riding, and we keep learning.
That verse took me about 5 minutes to write, and I thought it came out great. I just wanted to let the fans and whoever's gonna listen know where I am kind of in my life, where I've gotten to a certain point, but you know, is it enough, or you know, how am I gonna get to the next point?
So, alright, so with Growth, like, once again, Markfader already had some words written to that shit, and he was like telling me like an idea for the melody. This one was really dope, man. Like, I felt like the words that he wrote, and I was just trying to like, bam, that shit like that. Shit tight, it's like heartfelt words. Heartfelt words.
Growth and Jupiter were actually my 2 favorite tracks on there, possibly. Growth, I just kind of had to be a little introspectful, take a step back and just look at myself, you know, from the outside a little bit, and how I've grown as an artist, coming from, you know, one point, you know, years ago to now, and me being going from like, you know, a younger man to a man, and everything that, you know, that I had to deal with. That's basically where that inspiration came from. Definitely one of my favorite songs though.
From the bottom to the top, I can't stop when I'm going. Living in the shadows, breaking out because I'm growing. Yo, I'm just showing what I do to be a man, standing up for what I feel. You don't gotta give a damn. See, I understand, let me put it in specifics. You may never comprehend like I'm pseudoscientific. Shit, I'm just gifted, so call me a bastard. Whatever it is, I still continue to craft words. As I approach the new day, I'm a disciple.